Hey, this is Brian Grohl of Garage Woodworks. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make really thin strips of molding safely and easily. For the project that I'm currently working on, I needed to make some really thin molding that goes around the perimeter of this panel. Let me show you how I did that. Now, it might be tempting to go ahead and rip all your molding down to the width that you need and then form the profile on it. But a much safer way to do it is to start with a much wider piece of stock and form your profile on the outside edge and then rip off the molding that you need from the outside. Okay, for this demonstration I'm going to be using stock that's going to be 1/4 of an inch thick, and I'm going to be using a portion of a Roman ogee bit. Okay, so here's my profile. So all I need to do now is rip off the outside edge of this on the table saw and I'll have my molding. There are two separate ways you can rip off this molding on the outside edge. One way is to have the profile facing the fence on the inside, and another way is to have the profile on the outside or left side of the blade. If you decide to have the molding on the left side of the blade, you're going to need to adjust your fence every time you rip off a strip of molding. Now, in order to get reproducibility from rip to rip, you might want to set up a feather board so that as you move your fence over into your stock, it stops against the feather board and you can lock your fence down. So next time you rip off a strip of molding, you do the same thing again. Move your fence over and it'll stop against the feather board and you can reproducibly create consistent width molding. Now, the method that I like to use is I like to have the profile closest to the fence. That seems to work best for me. Now, if you're going to do it this way, you're going to need to have a very thin push stick. Now, I made this one out of a piece of 1/4 inch plywood, and I put a fin on the back so that it can grab onto the back end of whatever I happen to be ripping. And I can easily pass this alongside my splitter and the fence with no problem. So let me show you how I do this. Okay, so here's the strip of molding that I just created. So now if I needed a second strip of molding, all I would need to do is recreate the profile again on the outside edge and then re-rip the second piece of molding. Okay, so using this method for making thin strips of molding at the router table should prevent you from losing your fingertips in the process. Thanks for watching.